Something has got to give and something has to change right now. I'm not trying to hear about November, right? I'm not even here to talk about the Bruno penalty miss. I'm not here to even talk about any of the players. We already know about the general thoughts around the players right now. But if you're looking at that and thinking this is a player issue at this point, you need to have a long think. I'm not even wanting to be reactive to all of this, like as in I'm not thinking logically. But the most logical thing right now is please just smash the like button for me. At least do me that little bit of service, because that will just make my day. Just you guys and us United fans, right? It's been so long. It's been 11 months nearly. Yeah, I think nearly, right? Since we haven't even had a back-to-back win, right? We've had our first back-to-back wins at Old Trafford in 11 months. That's the most shocking part about it. You look at our attack, you look at our defensive options, you look at what we can give when we have Mainu on the field when he's come on the pitch, and yet this man decides he wants to pick his Portuguese brethren, even though they're probably not fit, let alone suited to certain roles. I didn't even want to be focused on Amorim today. I was thinking, just give me a good performance, get me a result, please. I just want to win. That's all I want to do. But I'm at boiling point. I really am. I just like, you get to the point and that phase where it's like, when a manager, you just know that their course is due. Like, you ran your course. It's time. It's time for Ineos, Wilcox, who was pointing to the tracks, and pretty much say that's your job. It's done. It's finished. It's on the line. It was on the line. It's done. Because you could talk to me about all the XG you want. You could talk about all the opportunities we created. But you look at that game in the first 45 minutes and you think, well, Maguire was being a bozo, don't get me wrong. But what about other little things? The structure, you know, stuff like discipline, selection. There's so many different things. I'm ill right now. You can hear it probably in my voice. I've got a blocked nose. I've been effing and blinding on a watch along. Why am I effing blinding on a watch along to a game that we should be winning away from home with ease? That was even a good Brentford. We took their best player and Newcastle took their other best player and we still can't find a way to win. You know what that's like? When we took Moyes away from Everton and we couldn't even beat them. It's the same thing. Or Fellaini from Everton. It's the same thing. It's embarrassing. How many times do we have to go down this dark hole and have this negative toxicity around the fan base and long overdue sackings before we come together as a fan base and say, you know what? One side was right and one was the other one wasn't. You can support the manager as much as you want. Big up to the travelling fans, man. They go down there, spend their hard-earned money that gets ripped off by the club and football in general to see that display. There's so many different things you can break down about the manager, the team, the structure. Enough is enough. We cannot keep blaming the culture about the club and this, that, and the other. Things ain't going to change until something goes wrong. No, it's not always about that. It's so overrated. Just look at what's happening on the pitch. We've got a manager who does not prioritize the midfield, let alone the youth, when it's pretty much staring you in the face. Today, we could talk about individual mistakes. Of course, Maguire, you know, hanging back twice, right? And being there, how he's not even saved 2 of those shots. You bought a new goalkeeper, one of the best in the world. You're not even trying him out. Why are you starting Agate? You started 6 defenders on the pitch. You know, Delos has come back and you pretty much sold him to the Wolves, mate. You sold him out because he's not going to do much at wing back. It was much better when we put more attackers on the pitch. But we was desperate at that point. So it's going to be, of course, disjointed. This is my thing. It's just not proactive and very reactive. I don't know how anyone wants to feel with me about this. I can't even bother to slander anyone. I just don't want to. I'm so tired of it. I'm so bored of it. Right? I'll come into this saying, oh, Bruno in, Bruno out, Amorim in or Amorim out. I lost the faith. I stayed as long as I could in my mind, but I have to stay true to myself. Right? You can't say, oh, you know, online fans, match going. I'm a match going fan too. I go to a lot of games. Yeah? It's only that this year that I've got other things and other priorities why I'm not going to Old Trafford. Otherwise, I would be there more time than less. Right? So on that note I don't want to hear that gimmick. Oh, the match-going fans are different. Who cares? All I know is what I'm watching with my eyes. When it gets to certain players on the field, we got such a team that is not suited to a three at the back system. It's blatantly staring at me in the face, telling me, "Are you gonna punch me or what?" Like, because that's how obvious it is. You couldn't be more obvious. Couldn't be more obvious than I'm not even gonna say it. Anyways, that was just so lethargic, and I felt lethargic. I was actually quite up for this game, thinking, you know what? It's not the fact that we beat Chelsea; it was the manner, the way we moved the ball with the speed of the ball, and just little bits and bobs. But we know, and you know, Maguire at home, I haven't got a problem with that. Maguire away from home, always got a problem with that. Because on the back foot defending, as we usually do away from home, he's never going to be that great. Yeah? Bruno in the 8. You saw how much more effective Bruno was when he had that little tiny bit of license to go for a little bit further forward. In the 8 is not his role. Kobe comes on, and we've been bamboozled, or he's tried to bamboozle us as a fan base, the way he came on and put in clinics against Everton and Galatasaray when he first came through the door. Kobe Mainu, right? The one guy who gave us some stable control in the middle of the field today. And yet he still discontinues to select him for obviously match days. Why? It's negative. His approach is very much overperformed. And you know what? I'm seeing for it for what it really is. Dorgu is like Antonio Valencia when he gets to the byline. He's going to cut it back, but he's not a wing back. Dalot is not a wing back. Euro Delict are brilliant centre backs for me. They've done nothing wrong. Even Luke Shaw. I don't even feel like I can even really get onto any players. I'm buzzing for Sesko. He's got off the mark. But when Cunha and Bumo and Sesko look like a regressed 3 attacking unit, there's something wrong with the coaching at this point. When it comes to set pieces, the zonal play is awful. What's going on? What's going on there? And you know what? When you look at the coaching side of things, where the defense is so far back, right? And the attack is so far forward, there's so many gaps, it's looking like Ten Hag. And then we got a keeper who's scared to play with his feet. So you know what we do? We just play long anyways. So what's the point? Because any team just allows us sometimes to have the ball. But you know what? All they got to do is make us look like a bunch of imbeciles and a Sunday League team by pressing us that little bit, because we will fumble under pressure because we don't have that presence. Hence why you need Xerxes and Seskos in the sides, or Mainus, someone that can actually hold up the ball. Cunha's just come back from injury, of course. And you can see that he's not fit 100% yet. But the only one trying something. And Bumo was whack. He won the penalty, done brilliant to win the penalty. But the fact that the referee, and you can even say and argue that Cunha, the first goal was definitely a foul. The penalty, why was there so many minutes before he could even take the penalty? Yeah, you could argue that. But it's thin margins for me. It's where is the repetitive chances being created? You know, that's where I look at things. It's not sustainable. It's pretty much relying on individual brilliance once again. I was under the impression Ruben Amorim was going to be a great coach. I wanted it to work out for him. But that is not acceptable, and it never will be acceptable. We got Sunderland at home, and they don't look that bad, right? That Isidore looks decent, right? But even then, you can go and beat these newly promoted teams, but that should not be a reason why you save your job. Go give it to somebody else. I'm not even apologizing to anyone. I need to apologize to myself for being so out of mind. But I just like to give the benefit of the doubt and at least give it a chance. But it's the same repetitiveness with Ineos and decisions when it comes to these managers. It should have, like Ten Hag should have been sacked at the end of the season. Ruben Amorim should have been allowed to walk at the end of the season at least. I think he's a decent guy. I think he's a nice bloke, but I think he's way out of his depth, and he doesn't exactly have the team that suits him. Ineos have built a team that suits Man United, and that is not a 3-4-3. It's beyond the formations. It's just simple basics that we can't get down, and the confidence of the team is looking shot. That's the reality. No one can tell me that he needs more time. No one can tell me that, oh, you know, if this went that way, that went that way. No, it's not. This is going to be the most logical reactive response you're probably going to get from me on a video ever. Because there's no point shouting. I've done all that. I'm bored of it. I think everyone else is bored of it. Simple as that. I just want to move on. Do you know what I mean? It's that point. You tried to go to therapy. You tried to move on with your missus and whatnot, and it's just not working. Easy as that. But you know what? Hopefully they pull the plug. Simple. Go get me Iraola. Go get me someone else. You know what? Just go get me someone that can actually bring some fundamentals back into this club. Do you know what I mean? Put Bruno back in the 10. Put Cunha out left. Do you know what I mean? Let players fight for their positions. Let's see if Xerxes might warrant a place in the team. I really like Lukasesco. Maybe you can play both of them. Bring in Michael Carrick as an interim. I think he's free in the job, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Unless he's got a new one. I don't know. Just something brand new and fresh, please. I'm so bored of this cycle of emotions when I watch Man United every week and I have to try to defend my team that I can't. I can't. This is the standards are just an all-time low, man. I didn't think it can get worse than Ten Hag, but it's worse. It is worse. It's only been 6 games, some will say, but 6 games too much. Others will say, including myself. Should have been gone from the Grimsby game. And the fact that we have to make content about 1 game a week as a Manchester United club fan base is outrageous. I don't like it. I really don't. Anyways, smash the likes if you want to. You might not want to because you might be mad just like me. But if you want to support me, amazing. Subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to be live later on as well. Cheerio.